Yeah. So hello everyone, my name is ashutosh7i. I am a third year CSE undergrad from Indore, Madhya Pradesh. Apart from this, I am a full stack web developer and I like to explore new technologies and I like participating in hackathons. So in today's video, we will discuss my project which I made at Jugaad Hacks 2024 Apple Edition. The problem statement is basic crop recommendation system. So the problem statement was that we are required to make a simple recommendation system that takes soil properties such as the soil pH, temperature, the soil humidity, etc. and predict some crops to farmer that these crops will be best according to his land. So this was the problem statement and this was the dataset provided. So these are the fields in the dataset. If we have a closer look, there are 7 fields. The first thing that came into my mind after seeing these fields was that these 3 parameters, which are nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium levels, these are quite difficult for a farmer to derive. But the other 4, which are temperature, humidity, pH and rainfall, can be easily derived. So what I thought, I will make a solution which will use these 4 parameters in the general mode. In the advanced mode, the farmer can input these all parameters, 7 parameters including nitrogen, phosphorus and potassium. So yeah, this was my idea, basic idea. So then this is the machine learning model which I trained. So I use NumPy, Pandas and scikit-learn library for training my machine learning model. This is how the data looks. These are total labels or say total crops in the dataset. And yeah, I trained a random forest classifier for this. Now thing is, I am a full stack web developer and I don't do machine learning that much. Machine learning is taught in my college, but I haven't made something my own using machine learning. This was the first thing I created using machine learning and I find machine learning to be great. I learned many new things and I will try to make more things using machine learning now. So this is the accuracy of my model, 0.95, which is quite great. The F1 scores are also great. So then I tested against the 4 datasets. As I said earlier, in the general mode, I will use these 4 properties, the temperature, humidity, pH and rainfall. So as you can see in the general model, I implement these 4. So then the model gives me 3 crops. Thing is, my solution will take 4 properties in general mode and it will suggest 3 crops to the farmers, 3 best crops. So then I exported this model using joblib and this is the basic script which takes 4 parameters, returns 3 crops and this runs on my Flask based backend. So now let us come to the actual solution. This is my actual solution, the actual product I made. So I named it FarmIQ. Why the word FarmIQ? The word FarmIQ literally has everything. Farm for farming, farmers, and IQ symbolizes machine learning we are using. So yeah, FarmIQ is an innovative app designed to maximize your agricultural yields. By entering parameters about your land, our model predicts best crops. So our solution has 2 modes, as I said earlier, as I mentioned earlier. The general mode is for 4 parameters and the advanced mode has 7 parameters, all of the parameters. So let us say if a farmer has general information about his land, he can input it here. He has more information, he can use advanced field. So now let us test it. So in our data set, this is the data set which was provided. Let us take example of pomegranate. So I will copy these 4 parameters. These are temperature, humidity, pH and rainfall to grow best pomegranates. So now let me paste it in the fields. I pasted the temperature, the humidity, the soil pH and the rainfall. Now the farmer will not enter these exact data, so I will normalize it. I will remove values after the points. Yeah, so this is how a typical farmer will input data about his land. So in the data set we saw that this is for pomegranate and if my model, my solution is right, it should say pomegranate, right? So I will click submit here. It called the API and then as we can see the 3 best crops are pomegranate, apple and jute. So I try to make the solution very intuitive. Now you can see there are images too. So this was my solution. The farmer will input the parameters here. He will get 3 crops as well as images. So now let us test for another type of crop. Let us take example of banana. So temperature is 25, humidity 83, 25, 83, 6112, 25, 83, 6112. So let's type here 25, 86, 25, 83, 6112, 25, 83, 6112, submit. So it says banana. Apart from banana, you can also plant these two crops. So this was the general mode of my solution. You can also use advanced mode. So let me tweak some values. pH is 7, rainfall is 120. Now I can input the level of phosphorus, nitrogen and potassium. So then he told me that these three crops are best, which are kidney beans, mote beans and lentils. So yeah, this was my overall solution. I tried to implement the images and I also implemented internationalization, but it is not deployed yet. So in the internationalization mode, it will look something like this. FarmIQ एक ऐप है जिससे आपकी कृषि उपज को अधिकतम करने के लिए डिज़ाइन किया गया है. My main focus was to complete these two first, and then I would try to complete the internationalization. But yeah, this is the overall solution. So now let us talk about other pages. It has an about page which says what we are doing actually, and I made it at this hackathon. Yeah, so now let us move to the tech stack I used. So this is the GitHub repo of my project. In the name of tech stack, I use Next.js along with Tailwind CSS and SAT-CN for the front end part. I used Flask for creating the backend. I created it using scikit-learn and random forest, and it is deployed in Azure and Vercel. So this is the overall source code of our project. As you can see, this is the Flask file. Here there are two models. The first model is for advanced prediction and another one is general prediction. As we saw earlier that my project has two modes, there are two specific models. What the front end does, as it calls on the backend endpoints, and the backend returns top crops using the models. This is the Flask code and these are my models. These are the requirements I used. So the model was completed. I deployed my front end on Vercel and the backend is deployed on Azure. So yeah, this was my project I created in these 36 hours. I find this hackathon to be great. This was the first project I created using machine learning. As you can hear, my voice is breaking because in the past 36 hours I hardly slept for around 6 hours. Yeah, if we try to see my progress on this, I have a service. It will tell me how much time I gave to this project. Let us move to projects and FarmIQ. Yeah, 10 hours according to him. These were the things I was using. And if we see here, 8 hours, so total 18 hours on theory. So yeah, this was my project I created. The most interesting thing to do was to add images to this. Yeah, I like it when it shows you images of the crops. So yeah, this was my project. I learned many new things. A nice hackathon. Thank you.